Yeah, there is. I'm just looking at. There is a blurriness, but anyway, some people have told me that your picture starts to get blurred. So I don't know. I mean, look at just
the camera.
yeah, probably. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying. That money now, as I see it, is becoming a human right. Meaning, the society that we have. I mean, we are both professional, right? So you get your taxes, you get your electricity bills, your utility bills. So if you were to do an off-grid living, yes, you could probably survive with a big question mark. But if you live in a city like London or anywhere on the planet that is connected to the mainstream economy, without money, your life won't work. Then does money make you feel secure? Most likely yes, because if you have money in your account, you feel stable, you get your financial stability. So I guess the way we've designed, even in relationship, a lot of relationship starts to fail when there is a financial crisis in the relationship. So I would say a lot of our life revolves around that thing called money, the value system that you created, the life that you want to lead, the career that you want to have, the profession that you want to go to, the business you want to start. All of that revolves around the money. So, I mean, a lot of people have sent us messages. We discussed that talk about this, talk about that, talk about this. And obviously, we're not expert to talk about relationship and things like that. The whole idea is, look, this is a conversation.
Yeah. But we can pick up on the issue of money and security. But now, this is one of the things I learned in the business school is, resource money can be called securities, right? Securities Exchange Board or whatever, right? Exchange Commission. So it is a kind of security, they call it in some ways. But what I also find is, this is where it gets very interesting. Sometimes having money and having access to certain things also makes people insecure. I'll explain how it goes. So you're not in a particular league. You're just happy with your one bed flat or whatever, and suddenly you've got a bit of money and they're upgrading, and then you get somebody in, architects, builders, and they say, you know what, so and so did this, and with a little bit more money you could have this. That's it. Then you're thinking, okay, now I'm having this. What next? Then you buy a car, and then your friend, you get into a club. No, this is the latest car you need to buy. So you're not secure. You don't feel secure. And then you go one step higher. You get a mortgage, or if you're a company, you leverage, and then you're thinking, I need to pay this off, because you're constantly starting to feel insecure. So the system that governs you in some way wants you to feel insecure, so that you can go and buy this insurance. You can then buy this savings plan, whatever, investment plan. It's all for the future. So you get your money, you pay your insurance premium, you put your money towards investment, you're looking at the future, driven by insecurity all the time, but you may not have, the resources to experience life and go on the journey, that we talk about, rather than always thinking about this future, listening to all of these people. So that happens too, and that produces problems. So when there is a relative dip in the level of money, there's huge anxiety. You were getting 100K and now you're getting 80. My God, that is too painful. Rather than somebody who's getting 40K and they're married. So these things come into the picture as well. And I've known young people, who've given up jobs and they've taken up something and they're happy. They say, I don't know why. We can explore that. That's an interesting idea. People are now changing the perception about this, because they know, that's kind of endless when you go around it, The meaning of money, is it changing? I don't know. It could change.
The way I see it is, and I can only talk about my experience. The way I see it is, and a lot of it is, when you were talking about it, I'm trying to just put it all together. When you talked about insurance, insecurity, and all of that. A lot of it is entrapment. I mean, some people would say, well, social media was designed to be addictive. Probably yes, probably no. It depends on how you use social
Yeah, yeah.
media. Now, look, at the end of the day, and going back to the conversation that we started, look, we are all born bankrupt. We are born with nothing. So, if let's say the nature, if you look at the birds, if you look at the animals, if you look at the squirrels, they have some of the best addresses in London, in Hyde Park, Buckingham Palace, and they have the best real estates. And they pay they pay nothing for it. Their cost of living is zero. They have no need for money. They don't even understand the concept of money. And we used to survive without money, remember? So the whole construct is our own construct.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So let's say you and me want to spend a few million pounds to buy a real estate, which is, let's say, closer to Hyde Park and things like that. But you walk in Hyde Park and you look at the bird and it has the best address. And it has the nest it wants. It is a prime real estate, and it is not looking to go to a real estate agent, and it is not looking for a mortgage from an HSBC or a Barclays or anybody, but it is not stressing out. And it is not wondering, oh, will I get a career? Do I need to finish this? Do I need to finish that? Let me start up a company. Let me quit living and let me become a slave or get entrapped. So what I'm saying is, and I go back to my own thinking and I see, this is all an entrapment that we have created for ourselves.
Yeah, very true, very true. But then the question one needs to then ask is the bird in the London suburb any less compared to the bird in Hyde Park?
Because this is how I knew you will say that exactly, because I was going to think like that also. So this is the thing, because we think Hyde Park is more valuable than somebody in the suburb.
Yeah.
So we are always using the narrative that we have been conditioned with to understand.
I was going to think about, say, Manhattan or Canary Wharf. That's the worst place for a bird.
Yeah.
So we would pay more for a Manhattan or a Canary Wharf real estate, whereas the bird would, if there was a bird currency, it would pay, for a forest somewhere, with nuts and fruits and whatever.
You
right?
see, so this is what comes about. This is why I'm glad you're here, because value is perception. Any value you put in, whether it's value of an asset, value of resource, value of money, it's all about perception. If you look at how markets are trading securities, how markets are pricing an asset, it's about perception. And the perception gets driven by psychology,
Absolutely.
So, human psychology affects human society, human behavior affects the human markets, human society, because a lot of this is a human idea. So that's why we have conflict in religion, that's why we have conflict in the market, that's why we have to have regulators, because, we created an idea that didn't exist. We manufactured it. And when we made it so complex that we have entrapped ourselves in it. It's like a big supermassive black hole that people are trying to escape it. And the society is built around this whole narrative that, you should be rich. You're only rich if you're making money while you're sleeping. Wow, okay. What if I don't want to make money? What's wrong with you? You don't want to make money? No, but maybe I don't want to make money. Maybe I think this is an entrapment. I don't want to get sucked into a black hole. So I can see some of the millennials, some of the younger generation probably want to do that. But then, unfortunately for them, the design of the economy is such that it's very difficult for people to get out of it. And that's why now there is talk about capitalism not working out. But socialism is also not a great idea. Socialism mostly fails. So, you have talks in America about taxing the rich. French already tried that. And you have universal basic income. At the end of the day, all of that won't answer the question. The question is, what is value? And my answer to that is very simple. You are the value. I am the value. Because we use the example of a bird. For me, I am giving Hyde Park the value.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I didn't know about Hyde Park, I would say, well, I'm happy wherever my jungle is. If I read about it, I knew a lot about it, then I'd say, wow, that's a good address.
Yeah. And somebody listening to this conversation will say, what the hell is this guy talking about? Hyde Park is not value. Canary Wharf is value.
Exactly.
So value is all perception, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is where we look at it. How much money do you need to survive? I guess whatever. I mean, I guess we need to test it.
Yeah.
We can test it and say, you know what? I probably need 70K to survive in London or 100K to survive in London. But then, okay, how do I earn that 70K? So I have to do, if I want to do a job, these are the type of job that will pay me after tax. So I will have a net 100K so I can survive. But then there are no guarantee for job. So going back to your point, we have designed a structure which always keeps us vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a lot of people who feel lonely, who feel stressed out, who feel all of that. Because how long can you carry this?
It's not sustainable.
Yeah. It's not sustainable. There comes a point where you think, oh gosh, I don't want to do all of this, And I feel bad for them because at the end of the day, yes, government collects the taxes and things like that. But,
Absolutely.
So, we'll carry on in the next one.
This is quite interesting. Yeah. So this is 30, yeah.